Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Wok with Tak. Welcome to our YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please feel free to write to me at wokwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I have posted in the past. If you have any video that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. When I was growing up, I rarely ate out because my parents always liked to eat at home. And when I asked them, why don't we go eat out more often? And the answer is that the food in restaurants are not good for you. You can go there eat once in a while, but if you eat too much, they have too much oil, they use too much salt, and it's just not good for you. And at first I thought, well, they were just being cheap. But now I realize that restaurant food indeed is very, very different from what you cook at home. You do not want to eat at a Chinese restaurant all the time because they use a lot of oil and, in addition, a lot of fat and sugar. When you cook at home, you can cook food as good as that they cook in a restaurant. In fact, even better. But the main difference is that you're able to control the ingredients that you use in your stir frying. In fact, not only the ingredients that you use will be more diverse, but furthermore, you can control how much salt that you want to put in, and you can stir fry with less amount of oil. And for this reason, I always encourage people that do not equate restaurant cooking with your home cooking. When it comes to stir frying, it's the same principle apply. Stir frying in a restaurant is always not as good in terms of health-wise. Now, the flavor may be good, and the reason that is because they use more oil. Now, oil always makes food taste better, and we all know that. And we all like to have a lot of oil. But the reason they use a lot of oil, and most of the time they use more salt and sugar, is because most of the time the ingredients are not as interesting. And for restaurant business, this is understandable. I work in a Chinese restaurant. During the time I worked there, I realized that they only use a very few ingredients and to create many different combinations. And that's why in Chinese restaurant you have such large menu. And to compensate for often the ingredients might not be that great, sugar, salt, and fat is being used. And this is true not in the Chinese restaurant, but in many other type of restaurant as well. Now, restaurant is a business, and their business is first and foremost to make money. And in order for them to make money, they will try to use ingredients of lower quality as long as they can get away with it. Now, in Chinese restaurant in the United States has somewhat a mystique. And that mystique was created by a book which written called The Breath of the Wok. And the idea of The Breath of the Wok is that somehow the restaurant food tastes better, and they call it Wok Hei. The basic idea of Wok Hei is that you actually need to cook in a wok burner that has humongous amount of heat capacity, and this causes the food ingredients to char. Now, the whole idea of Wok Hei is really a misguided notion. In fact, it creates a mistaken appearance. Is that you can only cook in a wok burner that has huge amount of heat capacity. In fact, I fell into this trap myself for a long time. I was under the belief that I can only cook in a burner of using gas. You cannot cook in an electric burner because it is not hot enough. And of course, I follow this misguided notion that everywhere I go, I insist that I need to have a gas burner. When we build our house in the country, I insist that I have a gas burner. And of course, it is more difficult because I use liquid propane, and I end up paying high dollar for the gas burner. When the gas burner broke down, my wife is sick of it, and she said, we're going to get rid of our propane tank, and we're going to go all electric. So whether you like it or not, we're going to get an electric burner. Well, she's the boss, so I said, okay, I'll just cook outside. So I get myself a turkey cooker, I convert it into a wok burner, and I cook outside. Well, unfortunately, in the wintertime, the cold is really getting to me. So I gradually migrate back into the kitchen, and I cook with my glass-top electric stove. Surprisingly, it worked exceedingly well, and I have not looked back ever since. So through my YouTube channel, one thing I really insist on trying to get across is the importance of practicality in home cooking. Now, if you can only stir fry in a wok burner that will provide 100,000 to 200,000 BTU, I don't think you're going to cook too often because it's just impractical. You cannot have such a burner inside your kitchen. And besides, the amount of oil film that it's going to generate will be intolerable. And so I start to realize that practicality is in fact the main reason that why people around the world stir frying. Because stir frying is probably the most practical cooking method. It can be adjusted to many different type of cooking environments. And I always tell people that stir frying is so simple in terms of its requirement. You can cook wonderful dishes in a small apartment with a small electric burner. Or in fact, you can even cook it on a camping stove. As good as if you cook in a multi-million-dollar mansion with a 1,000 square feet kitchen. And this is the reason why I think, unfortunately, that a lot of people in the United States do not gravitate or do not adopt stir frying, because even though they are interested, they realize the efficiency of stir frying. They under the impression is that their kitchen is not equipped for stir frying. And of course, now I'm looking back when I was growing up in Hong Kong, I realized that this is obviously it's completely untrue. In fact, in the little kitchens in the home that we live, which is a small apartment, the kitchen has only a tiny, actually the stove is a kerosene stove. This is kind of one of those stoves that you use for camping. It uses kerosene as a fuel. And there's a little pump that you pump up and increase the gas pressure. And the flame is tiny. But the person who did the cooking for us, she is a masterful cook. She makes most wonderful food. In fact, till today, looking back, I think she cooked the best meal that I ever had. That's the reason I developed the fast cooking system, which contain the components of flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. And with this cooking system, you can cook almost any type of dishes that you want. It has nothing to do with the amount of flame or the type of equipment that you have. It has nothing to do with the power in terms of BTU of your burner. And this is the reason why I select stir frying as the cooking technique for my fast cooking system. Now, stir frying is incredibly adaptable. Of course, you can cook in a high heat capacity burner, and in fact, this is the case in professional restaurant. But you can also cook in a small little camping stove. The major difference is that if you have a lot of flame, you cook much faster, which is a great benefit for professional kitchens. Okay, I hope I provide you a introduction of the nature of stir frying. So, if you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post a video each day, so keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.